Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about a man who walked onto a world stage and with a few simple words built a bridge between the ancient East and the modern West. His name was Swami Vivekananda.
But our story really kicks off with this one simple, burning question. A young man in 19th century Calcutta asks a spiritual teacher, "Sir, have you seen God?" Now, this wasn't just some casual question. This was a desperate search for truth. And the answer he got? Well, it didn't just change his life, it set in motion a spiritual shockwave that we still feel today.
So to really get this, we have to meet the man before the monk's robes. His name was Narendra Nath Datta, and he was brilliant, absolutely devoured Western philosophy, but he was also a huge skeptic. He was in the middle of this deep spiritual crisis, basically questioning everything he'd ever been told about God.
This timeline isn't just a list of dates. It's really the crucible that forged him. He's born into a well-off family, but then his world gets completely turned upside down. First, he meets this incredible mystic, Sri Ramakrishna. Then his father dies suddenly, and his family is thrown into abject poverty overnight. So you have doubt, you have devotion, you have hardship, and suddenly you have immense responsibility. All of these forces were shaping him into the person he was about to become. So when Narendra asks his question, "Have you seen God?" this is the answer he gets from Sri Ramakrishna. Just think about that. No complicated philosophy, no vague promises, just a direct, unshakable statement of personal experience. For a skeptic like Narendra, this was like a lightning bolt. It just completely shattered his intellectual doubts and really began his transformation from a questioning student into a true disciple. So, after his master dies, Narendra takes his monastic vows and becomes Swami Vivekananda. But here's the thing, he doesn't just retreat to a monastery. No, instead he sets off on this epic journey, walking all across India as a poor, wandering monk. He needed to understand his own country, to feel its heartbeat. And what he saw out there, it absolutely broke his heart. It wasn't just the lack of food or money. He saw a nation whose spirit had been crushed by centuries of being ruled by others. A people who had started to believe they couldn't change their own fate. The question that started burning in his mind was, how do you lift up an entire nation? He found his answer not in politics, not in charity alone, but in this incredibly powerful, ancient spiritual truth, the concept of the Atman. And the message was revolutionary. It was this: every single soul is divine. The power you're looking for isn't somewhere out there. It's already inside of you. You just have to wake it up. And look, he was incredibly practical about this. He famously said that it's an insult to talk about religion to a starving person. So he realized India needed two things at once. On one hand, secular knowledge, better farming techniques, new industries, so people could survive. And on the other hand, spiritual knowledge, to give them back their self-respect and the strength to stand on their own 2 feet. So after years of walking and searching, he ends up at the very southern tip of India, in Kanyakumari. He swims out to a rock in the middle of the sea and meditates there for 3 days. And it's there, surrounded by the vast ocean, that it all clicks into place. His mission becomes crystal clear. He would go to the West, offer them India's spiritual wisdom, and in return, ask for their help to lift up his own people. And with this incredible new sense of purpose, he gets on a boat to America. His destination? The 1893 World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago. This was a huge global event, and he was this unknown monk from India about to step onto a stage that would change everything. His speeches were absolutely electrifying. I mean, the moment he stood up and began with those simple words, "Sisters and Brothers of America," the entire crowd of 7,000 people jumped to their feet and gave him a 2-minute standing ovation. Why? Because in an age of colonialism and religious division, hearing someone speak about universal brotherhood with such conviction was just radical. He wasn't presenting some strange religion. He was talking about a universal science of the soul, something that could unite faith and reason. So after about 4 years in the West, he comes back to India in 1897, and he's basically a national hero. But he wasn't interested in the fame. He came back as a practical idealist, armed with a clear, concrete plan to awaken the nation. And his plan was just brilliant. Step 1, help people feel proud of their own culture and spiritual heritage again. Step 2, bring all the different branches of Hinduism together by focusing on what they all had in common. And step 3, the most important one, turn the entire nation's focus to serving the poor, the downtrodden, the masses. Now, a plan is useless if you can't put it into action, right? So he created an organization to do just that. He founded the Ramakrishna Mission, which he called a machinery of monks and regular people all working together to take these powerful ideas to every single person, especially the poorest of the poor. And this wasn't just about preaching. The mission was built on what he called practical Vedanta. It meant that running a hospital or a school or helping victims of a flood, that wasn't just social work, that was worship. It was about seeing God in every human being and serving that divinity. Now, what's so incredible is that Swami Vivekananda's life was incredibly short. He passed away in 1902 when he was only 39. And yet, the amount he accomplished in that short time is just staggering. He left behind a legacy that continues to shape not just India, but the entire world. You can really see his impact here. For the world, he connected East and West. For India, he restored a sense of pride that directly fueled the independence movement. And for Hinduism, he modernized it and gave it a unified voice. It's why the historian A.L. Basham said that in the future, he'll be remembered as one of the main molders of the modern world. But maybe the most provocative thought he left us with is this. From his final days, he's not talking about an end. He's talking about his work continuing. And it really leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What does it mean to be so committed to an idea that not even death can stop it? It suggests that a truly awakened soul becomes a force of nature, an inspiration that just keeps going, long after the person is gone.